Welcome back to the Swang Glow Podcast Show. It is yours truly, through Rock Creek. What's happening with all my people out there in the free world today? Welcome back to this roundtable, man. I am here to bring a story to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Something that happened to me and one of my childhood friends. You know what I'm saying? But before we get into that story, let me take the time out to shoot a shout out to all the new subscribers. Love and appreciate you all for choosing the Swang Glow Podcast Show to come be part of the family. We thank you, we embrace you. You know what I mean? And if you haven't already did it, please like, comment, and subscribe to the Swang Low Podcast Show. Do Rod Creep is definitely appreciated. Okay, now, hey, I'm probably the world's biggest Lakers fan. You know what I'm saying? I don't know nobody other than me, other than Jack Nicholson and Diane Cannon that might come close to it. But other than that, man, I'm a big Lakers fan, right? Always have been, probably since understanding the concept of basketball, which was started at a very young age. You know what I'm saying? So, bam. I say that to lead into this story that I'm about to tell y'all. You know what I'm saying? Now, this goes back probably to the year of 1988. You know what I'm saying? Hey, in my younger years, I had a real bad habit of stealing cars. You know what I'm saying? And that's pretty much how me and my homies got around from place to place. You know what I'm saying? Being that the Great Western Farm, which is located in Inglewood, California, is quite a distance from where I live and reside. We had to find a way to get out there to the Laker games, in which we did, which resulted into us stealing cars. Now, I had started stealing cars, like I said, at a very young age. Very young age. Probably the first time I stole a car was probably at the age of 13. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, now it was one or two ways we made it to them Laker games. You know what I'm saying? And I want to shout out the big homie Scotty Boy, rest in peace. That's my beautiful, wonderful woman, Golden's father. That's her real father, right? Who happens to be my big homie, right? From Do Rock. God rest his soul. Bam. Him and his brother used to take me and my homie Todd Bud and Diamond Blue, rest in peace, to the Laker games when we was younger. Now Todd Bud is the nephew of Scotty Boy. You know what I'm saying? Who happens to be my girl, Miss Golden's cousin, Todd Bud. So anyway, bam. They used to take us to the Laker games a lot, you know what I'm saying, when we was younger. The only stipulation that they had for us was we got to buy our own tickets. They'd take us and all that, but we had to have the money to be able to buy our tickets. So we would hustle all throughout the week. We'd find out when the Laker game was. We hustled all throughout the week doing what we did, gathered up enough money from our hustling, and was able to get our tickets and get into the game. Whether oftentimes the tickets that we got was nosebleed tickets. You know what I'm saying? Because we would typically buy our tickets right there in the parking lot. You have people out there in the parking lot selling them tickets all day, every day, right? So anyway, we either got there like that, or like I said, I will steal a car, and me and my homies will load up and go to the Laker games. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was the same routine. So I remember this one time, me and my homeboy, um, his real name was Wesley, but we had called him Little Spooklo. You know what I'm saying? That name was given to him by Big Spooklo, rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? My road dog. So I remember me and him wanting to go to this Laker game one time bad. So I ended up stealing the car, right? Now the car was a bucket, of course. You know what I'm saying? However, it got us around. And I've told y'all, in other stories, you know what I'm saying? Like, when when I got those cars, I drove those cars like they was mine, right? I was notorious for that, for having a G-Rod. I was notorious for it, right? So bam, I remember stealing this car. I remember going to pick the homie up. You know what I mean? I remember us being excited about going to the game that day. On our way out there, we just, you know what I'm saying, like shooting the shit, you know what I'm saying, and looking very, very forward to this game. So bam, we get to the game. The Forum, the Great Western Forum, where the Lakers used to play at, is located in Inglewood, California, right? So, you know, Inglewood it's a mixture of Crips and Bloods. You know what I'm saying? You have the Inglewood families out there. You have the Crenshaw Mafias out there. As far as the Bloods go, the Sentinel Park guys out there, Queen Streets. Then on the Crip side, you got the Legend Crips. You know what I'm saying? The Tongan Crips, and most definitely the Raymond Crips out there, right? So bam, when you go out there, it's a gamble on who you're gonna run into. You know what I'm saying? Especially at them Laker games. So I remember us going to this game, and I remember the Lakers playing the Pistons. Right? I'll never forget that because when we got into them games, although we had nosebleed seats, man, we would be all down on the floor where the players was at. We would make it down there by the bench and all that. We were such big fans. We wanted to get as close to the team as we could. Sometimes we would even be able to sneak to the back by their locker room. Not to their actual locker room, but right by their locker room. Right? And we did that quite often, man. And this particular day, we ended up down there by the floor, with down by the players' bench by the Lakers side. But of course, you can't get right up on them because the security is sitting there blocking the walkway. You know what I'm saying? The only people that's going to be able to get past them security is the people that got the seats right there. So anyway, I remember us making it down there and then making it to the back by the locker room. And I remember us standing there. Now it's like a little barrier right there. So if you watch a game, period, it ain't just got to be the Lakers. But if you watch a basketball game and you see when during halftime when they leave the floor and they walking through that tunnel, right? That tunnel is going back to another to like a hallway that's gonna lead them to their locker room. Well, when you get to so far in that tunnel, it's like a space back there where fans and sometimes stars, you know what I'm saying, to be back there waiting for the players to come by. The players that come by, greet whoever, if they family right there or whoever, they're gonna come greet them and then they're gonna go in the locker room. We made it right there. So I remember us standing there and halftime come. No, 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 it wasn't halftime. The game was actually over. And we're back there. And I remember the Pistons coming back first. And I remember seeing Dennis Rodman coming, right? So my homeboy was like, "Hey, Worm, what's up, Worm?" Right? And I remember Dennis Rodman looking over there at us and doing like this and then walking straight over there to us. And I remember looking like Dennis Rodman walking over here. And I look around, it wasn't that many people back there, but it was probably at the most, I would say 10, 10 to 15 people, right? I remember him walking over there and me looking around like, is he finna sign somebody autograph? Like, why is Dennis Rodman walking over here towards us? I remember him having them shoes tied together on his shoulder. And as he walked over there, I remember seeing him reach for them shoes, pulling them off his shoulder, and he walked straight to my homeboy, signed the shoes, signed them shoes that he had played in, and gave them to the homie, right? And I remember standing there like tripping, right? Like this Dennis Rodman, the worm, right? So bam. But it wasn't uncommon for you to be able to have them type of exchanges with the basketball players. We'd have met so many basketball players, especially Lakers. You know what I'm saying? Magic Johnson, I'd have met all of them. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Man, I got so many memories, and not just basketball players. It'd be all kind of stars up in there, man. I've met quite a few people. You wouldn't believe me if I told you. So anyway, I remember bro getting them shoes, and then us leaving after the game. This the end of the game. So bam, we leave, and I remember us jumping in the car and uh bro was driving. He was driving us back. I had drove out there. He was driving us back. And I remember us driving down Prairie. Now, if y'all familiar with Inglewood, I'm very familiar with Inglewood, right? If anybody out there is familiar with Inglewood, then you gonna know exactly the pathway that I'm telling you that we had took and how things ended up going the way that they did. So bam, I remember us driving down Prairie, and I remember crossing over Century on Prairie, right? Now, that area right there, the tongue is just, it's like some apartment buildings right there, right off of Prairie and Century, right? Some apartments where it's all Samoans, Tongans, right? Deadly, cold, cold. Them was some cold apartments out there, right? Always heard about them. So, bam, we passed that. Then we passed 102nd, where the Raymonds is at, right? 102nd in Yukon, but Yukon is if okay, we on Prairie. If you turn down 102nd and you go all the way down 102nd, you're gonna run into Yukon, right? But we didn't take that route. This fool drove down and turned down 104th, right? So I remember us driving down 104th, going going past Yukon, and us going still down 104th, Morningside High right here. Morningside High School is right here to our right. We driving down 104th, and bam, then it's another little school, like elementary, Woodworth, right? So bam, I I remember I'm asking bro, I'm like, why you going down here? He like, man, I'm trying to go to my auntie stay over here in this area and this and that and blah blah blah, right? So as soon as we get right there by the little elementary Monroe, the car stopped, right? So I'm like, damn man, what's wrong with this car, right? So bam, he trying to start it. He trying to start it, won't start. You know what I'm saying? It actually was sounding like the starter was tripping. I don't know. I can't remember what was wrong with that G Rod, man, but it broke down on us, right? Like I told you, I was a bucket. So anyway, we stand there, we sit in the car for a minute, you know what I'm saying? Talking, trying to figure it out. Like, man, this car done broke down out here in Inglewood. You know what I'm saying? So bam. I remember bro saying, man, come on, we're gonna have to try to get to the up to Crenshaw and Century, you know what I'm saying? Get to a phone booth and call his auntie and have her come pick us up, right? So I'm like, all right. So bam, we walk down 104th. He like, come on, we gonna go up through this street, which was 10th Ave, right? Right, we're gonna go up through this street, cut through these apartments so we can get to our destination faster. Now, if y'all ever been in this particular area right here is the Crenshaw Mafia Gangsta Bloods hood. Right, 10th Ave is their main street, right? Right off 104th, 10th Ave, right? And if you go all the way down that street, you run into a like a like a dead end, it's like an alley. You know what I'm saying? It's like an alley right there, but bro, this is they main street in they hood. This hey, we was in the cold area, put it that way. So bam, we walking down this street, and I remember bro like, come on, we're gonna cut through here. And as soon as he said that, and we started to cut through these apartments, this big old tall black ugly nigga came out of nowhere. Where y'all from, blood? Right? Bang on us. So bam, we stop in our tracks. So when I lock in on him, I see him standing there with a strap in his hand. And like six other dudes came out of nowhere. So they kind of had us surrounded. But this dude, like I'm focused on him because he's the first and only person that I seen with the gun. I'm not looking around like this and that, but I do see the dudes come out of nowhere and surround us, right? So bam, as dude asking us where we from, he walking up on us, but he walking kind of slowly, but he's doing that walk like he finna pop us and get on, right? So I'm froze, like the homie froze. Now, this particular day, I had on a light blue t-shirt, some blue jeans, and some Nike Cortez, right? On the check part, it was snakeskin dark blue, right? And I remember when the tall black ugly nigga with the gun in his hand asking us where we from, he looking, he started the shoes and he tripping. This fool from the poppers, right? And I swear to God, bro, out of nowhere, I just hear these screeching tires. Right? Police. Right? So this fool, I see him look up, turn around and dig. The other dudes that was there didn't run. Only him. Right? This fool run. It was like these apartments that we was in, right? The way that he ran was towards Crenshaw, right? But it's an alley. It's a gang of apartments up and down 10th Ave. You know what I'm saying? And if you go through those apartments, you're gonna go into an alley, and then there's some more apartments on the other side of that alley, and you can go through them apartments, and you're gonna end up on a little bitty side street, and then there's Crenshaw right there, right? So bam, he dig through there. All the rest of us is froze when the police come. The other niggas, the other damos that was there, they don't run. Only that one. So bam, police snatch us all up. They got us on the police car, hot ass police car, right? So I remember just tripping like, man, the police and snatched us up way out here. We done came out here in a stolen car that done broke down on us in these blood niggas hood. And we done got gaffled up with these dudes, right? So they got us on the court, right? I'm looking around, right? It was just a trip. So when the police find out where we from, they like, man, I don't know what y'all doing out here. You know what I'm saying? But y'all in the wrong place at the wrong time. You know what I'm saying? So I remember us telling them that we had just came from the Lakers game, you know what I'm saying? And we was trying to get to the homie's auntie house. We didn't tell them that we was in the stolen car that was right down the street around the corner. We didn't say none of that. Why would you? So anyway, um, I remember the police taking the homie's shoes that Dennis Rodman gave him, right? Looking at him, he seen that autograph. This fool locked up on the homie shoes and told us just like this, look, I'm gonna go ahead and keep this as a little souvenir, but I'm gonna give y'all 5 minutes to get up out of here. You got 5 minutes, go. Right, man. So I just remember like, but he the blood dudes that was over there with us on the police car, he had them, they gaffled, right? So bam, I remember walking through them apartments fast as hell. Me and the homie, right? Homie, a tall, black, giraffe looking ass nigga, right? African looking nigga, right? I bullshit you not, right? Long legged ass nigga. We taking long straw. I'm trying to keep up with him. So anyway, we get up to Crenshaw and Century. You know what I'm saying? There was a gas station up there at that time. I think it was a Wendy's, and then like a shopping center. You know what I'm saying? Grocery stores and stuff, right? So we get up there. I remember the homie called his auntie. You know what I'm saying? And told her, you know, we needed a ride. You know what I'm saying? We got stranded out there and this and that and blah blah blah. We didn't tell her about the stolen car, of course. You know what I'm saying? But I remember her tripping like, man, you got to remember we, you know, man, we way out in the San Gabriel Valley. You know what I'm saying? We done stole this car and went way out to Inglewood, and it break down in the blood niggas hood of all places in Inglewood. You know what I'm saying? And I just remember tripping why the homie chose to take that route. I don't know. I guess because he thought he knew that area, or I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? But I remember once we got out that predicament, you know what I'm saying? Me and him talking about it, and I'm like, man, what made you take that route? You know what I'm saying? Of all routes, like, why go like that? You know what I'm saying? And, you know, He kept on, my auntie, this, that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, you know how close we came to losing our life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been drawn down on, you know what I'm saying, quite a few times, and was blessed and fortunate enough to walk away from it. You know what I'm saying? And then sometimes I done got shot at. That close, had a gun all up on me, and you know what I'm saying? And being able to still walk away from them situations unscathed. You know what I'm saying? So, the moral of the story, man, is this. For those that choose to, because we didn't have to steal the car. We could have been patient and waited, you know what I'm saying, for the homie Big Scotty Boy them to take us. They didn't mind doing that, you know what I'm saying, as long as we was able to buy our own tickets. But at the same time, I guess it was more of us being young and wanting to show independence that, you know what I'm saying, we was able to get out there to the game on our own and not have to always depend on the adults. But you know what I'm saying, that's like trying to skip in line. You can't skip in line. You can't skip in life. You know what I'm saying? Still in that car put us in a more worse off position than either of us could have even ever imagined. You know what I'm saying? Being coming close, that close to death. And, you know, I seen it in that dude's eyes as he was walking the bonus with that gun in his hand. You know what I mean? I don't know why, how the police came so fast or why. They must have been sitting on them dudes or something. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But I know it, you know, they came at a cold time. And I say the right moment because it saved our life. They would have popped us right there and got on. All them apartments over there, we in their hood. It would just would have been reported two dead Negroes found in these apartments, shot to death. Not even from out there. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, y'all got to be careful in the decision making that y'all make. You know what I'm saying? Try to think about what your future may become by making the wrong choice, trying to skip the line. You know what I'm saying? Life ain't about skipping. Life is about going on that journey and enjoying it. You know what I'm saying? Creating your memories. You know what I'm saying? Creating your history. You know what I mean? That's what it's about, man. And you can't do that skipping. And we tried to skip, still in that car, going out there, but we put ourselves in a far worse position than we ever could have imagined. And thankfully, by the blessings of God, man, we was able to get up out that situation. You know what I'm saying? Whether it was with the assistance of the popo or not. You know what I'm saying? People can say what they want. You know what I'm saying? You can be the hard guy, but I'm gonna be the smart guy. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, thank them gentlemen for their assistance in helping us get up out that situation because we was caught cold, dead bang in a place that we wasn't even from. All from stealing the car for a Laker game. Come on, man. Come on, man. Do better, people. Do better for yourselves. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, I just wanted to bring y'all that story. You know what I mean? Me and the homie came close to meeting our maker. You know what I'm saying? Crenshaw Mafias, you know, caught us slipping in their hood. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, thankfully I'm here to talk about it today. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I just wanted to bring that story to y'all, man. So I'm gonna let y'all get back to the rest of y'all day. I appreciate you all taking the time out to come join me at this round table, man. Y'all take care, be safe out there, love and appreciate each other while you can. You know what I mean? On that note, I'm up out of here. To the next time we meet at this round table, love all y'all. Triple gang.